That was Joan by
Oh, Dasher, the 818
Helen Reddy.
785.
Oh, that's
Helen Reddy, yeah.
She said, I ever want to hear me wrong.
Yeah, she was
Dasher,
boy.
quote you, best
Like,
rate you can.
I'm out of work and I have a problem.
Protect yourself. Call Dasher Insurance now. We'll call them after the Michael Jackson show. The 213 number is 8.
Wants you and your family to keep all those great battery-powered presents going strong. So for 4 days only, we're selling all batteries at a powerful 1/3 off. From now through Wednesday, you can get 1/3 off Kodak, Energize.
Radio KABC, 26 minutes before 10 o'clock. Martin Sheen, actor of great repute, is here to talk about hunger in the world, along with Dr. Davida Cody, an expert in what hunger is and the terrible things it does to the body. All of this in preview to a special coming up on KCET tonight. Coming up tonight on KCET called The Politics of Food, where you're saying that it's not the shortage of food in the world that's hurting, it's the politicians getting in the room. We have plenty of food.
Yes, that's absolutely true. It's the price on the grain markets and the control of the grain markets in the world. The documentary focuses attention on several countries, starting here in the United States and Minnesota. It goes to Brazil, to
Unless you think of it
Sudan, to
Ken and Bob are doing the interview in the newsroom, so I'm
India.
white
and,
and
I would rather have a lot that we don't get to than have to pull and beg for them. Yeah, oh yeah. Like we did.
We had the Playboy centerfold.
No,
Playgirl centerfold.
Playgirl.
And no one called?
Well, all his buddies, like from high school, called.
Oh, that on the Playgirl? Oh, that was funny.
Because we just wanted, so we said goodbye.
Every
to her,
call.
We had no calls, and Pat
Every
Sajak,
call
we're just kind of going, "Ugh." So
Every
it's like,
call was somebody.
And
You say goodbye to who?
to the Playgirl person.
Right in the middle.
After
Yeah.
we shoot.
Thank you for coming.
we just said, about 20 minutes earlier than we expected, we just said, thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.
And he was loving it because all of his old girlfriends were calling, but it sounded really.
It wasn't that the finest of radio.
No, we wanted to get a little more controversial with it, and it was like, he's a cute guy, and you're sweet, and you made lots of money, and have a nice day. So.
Yeah, the understatement of the
That's
Yeah.
that's North Dakota. How's Mary? How's Mary to work with?
Yeah.
Just love that show.
Yeah.
With that about Ted Knight.
Yeah.
No, really, and
Yeah.
it's so weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, this was even worse than that.
Did you tell her about the Paul Harvey thing, or do we even need to?
Yeah, no, I'll tell
Paul
her right
Harvey
now.
is-
Well, we're gonna do this. The first segment we do here with Chuck is not going to be heard in certain key cities around the country.
What they got against Rambo Man?
We're standing by live right now with Valerie Harper, who's being explained how to do talk radio. It's a fascinating process. Watch.
Try not to go over anything real big, in the beginning, because you don't want to repeat it afterwards, because then it'll be repetitive for the stations that are here. Well, don't save your good stuff for later.
Oh.
And don't refer to things that you talked in the first segment.
How long is the first segment?
6 minutes.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just kind
LA's
of.
listening.
Paul Harvey, they play Paul Harvey.
Just reintroduce them, but you don't have
And
to
then when
repeat
we come
everything
back,
he says.
Getting all figured.
For me.
It's great. Yeah.
You gonna go get Chuck later?
What's that? Yeah, let's go get Chuck.
I
Are you all set, Valerie? Should I bring him in?
Sure,
Okay.
yes.
And his brother, too. They're both here.
I think he's a cousin, actually. Isn't he? His brother. He looks like him.
Yeah. Oh, you found it. Good. I was going to go out and find you, but you're fine. We're all set. Come on in.
Actually,
Yeah.
everyone's great. They just guided me.
Good. We're pretty good at that. This is my colleague, John Dosa.
Oh,
who's
yeah.
shooting. Oh, you met already.
We're all relatives now.
Thanks. Enjoy.
Okay. You're welcome to come in, Cindy, if you want.
Oh, thank you.
Sure. We got room for the whole family.
Hi, Valerie.
Yeah, sure. I know you're a family man. It's so apparent from the picture.
Hi,
So
honey.
wonderful.
Good to see
This
you.
is great. I'm real happy to
Thank you.
have this opportunity.
It's my brother Aaron.
Valerie.
Hi, Aaron.
Nice
You're
to
the
meet you.
director.
Yeah.
How many of them have you done?
One to visit.
Yeah, the one that's
right here.
Now tell me, Chuck, about
yeah,
that. Is that out
this is
right
my-
now?
It opens the
My,
22nd.
Great.
Co-producer
That's what I needed
and
to
Leon.
know. I
Hi,
didn't want
Chuck.
to
Nice
speak
to
about
meet
it as it had been released.
Cindy, real quick. This, I want
How
you to
are
meet
you?
somebody here. This is my co-producer, and Cindy works with Betty Shapian.
Oh, hi, Cindy. Yeah, we've talked
He's
about
my
time.
co-worker in the booking up. Have a seat up there on the couch.
Okay, wonderful.
And the doctor will be with you in a moment.
Tell me the date again. January
22nd, yeah, January 22nd opens
nationwide kind of thing. Oh, great.
1,400 theaters.
Oh, that's great. 1,400 theaters. But today we're
Yeah.
talking about the book.
I'll be
We're
back
talking
in a
about both.
Yeah.
I'll be.
There's a picture of you at the hike on his knee.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I love these pictures.
Afraid that's
I
me.
love Granny.
Oh, isn't she great?
Oh,
Granny was Superwoman.
Wait a minute. There's this little one, but then isn't there one? Maybe you're not on his knee. You're just.
Oh, there's
There's
might be
Aaron.
another one.
There was one I thought.
Well, there's one where he's punching me. I can
He's
see that
hugging
one.
you. Did you babysit? Was that
Yeah,
now he
yeah.
gets to direct you?
Yeah.
Well, see, now, revenge, revenge is sweet,
I'm gonna
Valerie.
repeat that one. That was
See, the thing is, he directed me. After all these years of me picking on him, he gets a chance to be my boss, right?
Right, I love this. This is
And
the
he
greatest
loved
part.
it. He made life miserable for me on
Make
the
you
set.
do all the stunts. You do all your stunts?
Oh, well, that's just something specialized.
Yeah.
Well, I do put him in a lot of situations.
Right, where he could harm himself, right?
Oh, no, I'm not going to hurt him.
director.
I know. See, I know his ability, where other people don't. So I know how far to push him.
Yeah.
And that's a long ways.
Stunts are great because you get an immediate satisfaction from doing a stunt that you don't get as an actor. You know, until you sit on the screen, you don't know how you look. But with stunts, you get that immediate gratification.
Well, it's great to blow the audience away.
that you know.
Also, you know, when they see a big action sequence, and all of a sudden he comes into, I mean, he's in the picture and he comes into the frame, and you realize it was in the whole time because I haven't cut.
Right.
Because the audience is always
Yeah,
looking. Is that really him, or I mean, today
They're
they're very
aware.
sophisticated.
Today they
they're very
are
aware.
indeed.
You know, with all the, with Universal Studios
With all
and all
those
the stuff
shows,
here.
plus
Well, I was-
Entertainment Tonight, all those shows.
I was
are-
a stunt coordinator 14 years before I started directing.
Were
So.
you really?
Yeah, so.
He
So
was
there's a
stunt
lot-
coordinator all my
Do you have
films.
other brothers and sisters?
We had one that was killed in Vietnam, and so
Boy.
yeah, he was in between us too. Age-wise.
Is he in the book?
Mhm.
This picture?
Yeah.
There's a wonderful picture of you and your.
The book is
dad.
dedicated to him. Yeah.
Oh, there it is, right there. I'm sorry I missed that page. I haven't read the whole book, but I certainly have looked at it. It's so interesting to me because I think the whole athletic. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
It is such a wonderful.
I love
thing.
autobiographies, especially ones that deal with positiveness, like Ayako. People like
Yeah,
the
but in
shows.
the physical realm, you can just transform a spirit.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a hands-on, it's real, and so I have such a belief in athletic endeavor,
Oh yeah.
expanding, and that's what your book is all.
Oh yeah. We still to this day.
Terry, back time, bed
It's not
music,
instead
first
of
break.
inner strength, but it is a manner
Well-
of developing it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think I get the
Yeah,
sense
it's,
from it.
it's not something you're born with. It's something you develop over the years.
And now, see, I did read this about the three women. How did I not see? Weiland, is it?
Whelan. Yeah.
And is it Charles?
No, Carlos.
Carlos. Yeah. Your folks were Latin, German, and biblical.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it.
Welcome back to the Michael Jackson Show. I have the privilege of having two, not one, wonderfully attractive, alive gentlemen in the studio. Chuck Norris is here. He'll be talking about his new book, The Secret of Inner Strength. And what I saw looking at the book was an incredible message for people, as well as a great deal of love, a great deal of family, very evident in not only the photos, but in the text. And quite appropriately, Chuck has accompanying him today, Aaron Norris, who is his brother, also the director of his film, their film, whoever you're talking to. Aaron, it is an Aaron Morris film. So any of you, and I know a lot of you, feel as happy as I to get a chance to talk to these guys. If you'd like to get involved, here's how to do it. Studio
Yeah, we'll do it after you clean up here. No rush.
Oh, okay. John is Jon.
Thank you.
What is the question?
O-N.
What's the trivia question? I want to know.
Yeah.
Trivia question is,
Jon.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people spelled it wrong.
what was
I always feel funny.
Julie Kavner's character's
Thank you.
name on Rhoda?
Congratulations on your baby.
Thank you. Oh, thanks.
I think it's great in your family and all the work you're doing.
thank
God
you.
bless you guys. It's really nice. I
great
thank
time.
you for this. Yeah, this
You're
was
terrific.
nice. No, I was
Yes.
really interested. You're such lovely people. Your family must be so proud.
Oh, yeah, mom and dad.
Our mother, yeah.
Oh, boy,
Yeah.
Oh.
But she really put something into the planet. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's a
Even to this day,
She deserves after raising us, I
And
tell you.
that's it. Values and
Okay, I know,
stuff,
it's all
but
right.
she's just really, that's the most
Chuck?
charming thing I think.
Get your
I've
Terry
ever
right there for a picture with
Oh,
you.
hi. Sure, you bet.
Oh, great.
My kids will blow up. Just who you are as people.
All right, here we go.
You know, it's
Excellent,
thank you.
I know, it's so clear. in
Chuck,
this-
there was a 4-year-old kid that called during the show, and I didn't want to put him on because it would have been a little awkward, but I told his father I'd ask if you want to call him just real
And
quick
you
and say
guys are-
hello to him.
That you came.
He's 4 years old.
It filled
Not
out
Barry
the hour,
Bornstein?
didn't it?
Travis.
Nice. So you
These
did.
are two of the people that called, and I
know
told
that
him
guy.
I told him I'd give him your number.
Thanks a lot.
Use their number.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Would you mind for us to say hello real quick? Let's do it right here.
Oh, I tell you, you just,
Over the years.
I've been helping so many smucks out, you know.
I wouldn't
for
ask
so many
you to
years,
kidding.
you know, and they had no
Did you
energy,
send me
they're
this?
lifeless,
Sure.
and just amazing.
I've got to write.
Frustration from here just gets to you.
Oh, great. I've got to write this one.
And then run with it, though. No, I'm not stopping. That's right.
What is today, January?
7th.
Is it 7th or 8th?
7th.
Oh.
Hi, this is Brian Green from KABC. Hi, I have Chuck Norris here. So I'll put you on line with him real quick and you can bring Travis on. This is his father.
Okay, hello. Hi, how are you? Fine, thanks. Okay, sure.
Live?
Hi, Travis, how are you?
Yeah.
Good, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to talk to you on the radio. But it's nice talking to you on the phone. Did you have a nice Christmas? Did you really? Did Santa Claus bring you a lot of nice things? Good.
Did you get?
Well, you take care, okay?
You get kind of.
There's a lot of action.
You like my movies? Thank you.
No, I really went to
Okay, bye-bye, Travis.
We got a promo here.
and there's some action.
Actually, we thought we were going to
Hi
do
there.
it live.
That's my pleasure. Have a nice New Year.
Okay, great. Let me get ready.
Bye-bye.
They're guys
Thank
who-
you.
Okay, you bet.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, today?
Yeah, what we do is we either Valerie Harper. Yeah.
That was nice of you. That was nice.
Great.
Can you imagine the rest of his life? He'll remember that, won't he? 4 years old. That's a long time to see. Of course, what's really funny, the older he gets, the wilder it's going to seem to him. Did I really?
Okay, folks, we're going to do a promo real quick. Hang on.
Vacation is
Stand by.
Microphone, please.
Would help.
This will be live on the
Here we go.
Hello there, this is Valerie Harper filling in for the vacationing Michael Jackson. Tomorrow, on Michael's final day of vacation, his guest host will be the incomparable Art Linkletter. Art will have a couple of wonderful guests on the show, including Leonard Maltin, movie critic, and the great entertainer, Milton Berle, Uncle Milty. That's all on the Michael Jackson Show. That is what we're having tomorrow.
And again.
Hello there, this is Valerie Harper filling in for the vacationing Michael Jackson. Today on Michael's final day of vacation, his guest host will be the incomparable Art Linkletter. Art will have a couple of wonderful guests on the show, including Leonard Maltin, movie critic, and the great entertainer, Uncle Milty, our Milton Berle. That's all on the Michael Jackson Show later today.
Thank you.
How could that be live?
No, they're feeding it live on the network, but the stations are recording it for use later on.
Slowly I turned. He tried my mind live. I said, who are we telling that live, really. I mean,
That's
it is
funny.
live.
There's a difference.
I got you. I know what you're
Yeah,
saying.
okay.
Eddie.
I came home.
So you're
I
South
came
Bay.
home.
So then you're a South Bay boy then.
Oh, I grew up, yeah, I grew up down the beach. Did you really?
Yeah.
God damn, man, I served, you know, the
No, there were
breakwater and all that for years.
Oh,
yeah?
Where'd you go to school?
Yeah.
I went to Bishop Montgomery.
All right, I was North
Okay.
Forest.
ABC?
I'm a home movie freak.
Oh, you really?
I've got
Yeah.
hours I haven't even seen yet.
Yes, can I ask who's calling? Oh, hi Bob, Brian Green. How you doing? Good. Hang on. I'll let you talk to him. Hang on. Aaron, there's Bob Best and Sherry from AM Los Angeles on the line for you.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Sure, I'll talk.
Okay.
Popular man.
We got time to make a movie.
Yeah, that's the phone number there too. So.
Okay, appreciate it. Here you go. And yeah, thanks a lot.
I remember reading about you the first time in the LA Weekly when you were just
especially when
starting. Remember that big article they did when you just were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael, otherwise.
Yeah, but I've been on Michael's show about 4 or 5 times.
You like it?
Yeah. You had to
Golf
get Aaron
Tuesday.
in LA.
Alright, well make sure
These are
who's
the
Bob?
two people that called.
Bob?
It's up to you.
Oh, okay.
Here, hang on. You'll get him. No, you haven't lost him. We have to punch him in.
Bob?
It's up to you.
Bob?
No obligation. I
Hey,
told him I'd
Darren.
give him the number.
Okay.
If,
I'm doing
if you want
great.
to call
How are you
for
doing?
Thank you.
Small world. Yeah.
You were standing by live with Chuck.
You took of us in the Philippines.
I used to be like a program director.
I gotta get a copy of that. You sure did. I miss seeing you. When are you gonna come around? Good. Oh, we're on your show, huh? Will Schreiner, great.
Oh, Will Schreiner. I thought he was with AM Los Angeles.
All right. Well, that'd be fun.
They're both on TV.
Yeah.
I thought Bob was
Okay, we miss each other.
It's a big, huge building.
Oh, I love doing them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then my driver generally has it all down. He has a computer on the thing, so he
I thought I'd keep a
call the
tradition
computer
and
right to it.
leave all the calls hanging and walk out.
Oh, we got some fun stuff for you already.
Sure, they're used to it.
Yeah, we're ready for you.
They're used to it.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff.
Must needs a questions.
Uh-huh.
You already did.
Oh,
Just a matter of
doing it.
yeah. So Les, you probably should have set up in the
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
the
why don't
studio.
you,
We'll bring her in.
I mean, stunt-wise and so forth?
Yeah,
Oh, boy, I got a
if
million
you want
of
to go
them.
set up, we'll bring it on.
Yeah. Can I call you back in a while? I'm sitting in the middle of the studio right
Yeah, we
now.
call it from the limo.
All right, and I'll call it. No, yeah, you got my home number, right? All right, let me call you back in just a while. I'll call you from the limousine. We're getting ready to take off right here. What's your number, Bob? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Were you ready to go to Mexico? Yeah, we're going to shoot Delta Force 2 in March. Why don't you come over and play with us? I'm going to try for Acapulco. Yeah, Cancun maybe, yeah. That's it, that's a ticket. All right, partner, I'll call you in a little bit. Bye.
Great. That's fine.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
great.
All right, take care.
See you later. Good luck.
Bye-bye, you guys.
Bye, Val.
Wonderful to see you. I'm sure our paths will cross.
All right, good luck to you.
Yeah, thank you. Sounds a little...
You're so sweet.
Here's John. I think one of the primary urges of human beings is to make a contribution.
Valerie,
The
that was
contribution
great.
of oneself, thanks, in the form of sharing is truly wonderful. And you do it so well. Thanks for your support, love, kindness, and terrific aliveness. Does that sound too formal?
No, Valerie.
It sounds a little ponderous, no?
No,
It's heartfelt,
thank-
even if it sounds corny.
I love it. Oh, isn't that
Would you
sweet?
would you like to retake that and I won't interrupt?
Thank you.
No, that's okay. He's got...
1962. Frank Sinatra and Lawrence Harvey and Angela Lansbury in an incredible performance, and Janet Leigh. Then it was pulled away. Sinatra heard, without giving away too much of the plot, it has to do with presidential assassination.
Yes.
It's one of the facets of the plot. It's based on a very good thriller by Richard Condon. And it involves a presidential assassin. It's part of the fabric of the movie. And the story I heard, and I hope I'm not getting this wrong, I don't mean to give out misinformation. The story I heard was that Frank Sinatra heard at some point in the 60s that Lee Harvey Oswald had watched another film he had made called Suddenly, which was also coincidentally about a presidential assassin. And Frank Sinatra was so upset that one of his films might have had some influence on this terrible man who did such a terrible deed, that he decided he was going to pull both of those films, Suddenly and Manchurian Candidate, from view.
And he could do that?
He owned them both.
Ah.
Milton Berle. Can I take some home movies, Uncle Milty?
Yes, go ahead, take it.
Thank you.
Take it.
God bless you.
I have no makeup on.
Neither do I.
I'm talking for your mic. I have no makeup on, but not too close. Stand
I don't
over,
do the offender.
look like an old feeble Jew. And I'm over here to be interviewed by Art Linkletter, who used to be famous many years ago. I'll see you.
Thank you.
This friend of mine has it.
Hi, this is Milton Berle.
Come here, Milt.
Yes.
They're hanging.
Well, why don't he look at it, not you?
See?
Here, I'll get it. Just a little thread.
Where do I broadcast?
To the left. To the left.
Over there.
Michael Jackson's ass.
Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you.
Straight through the big door to the straight ahead.
Eddie?
Straight ahead.
With Eddie. Oh, Ruth, Coral. Cosgrove?
Cosgrove. I remember.
Hi there. Hi, Mr. Berle. Come on in.
Exciting.
Holy
Yeah.
God almighty. Eddie Bracken.
Milton Berle. Nice to
How
see
are
you.
you, Leonard?
Pleasure to see you.
How are you, Arthur?
Just fine,
I'll be
thank
with
you.
you now.
I know you will.
I watch you all the time. Get these guys. Watch this. Leonard Maltin. I watch you all the time. So wait a minute. Did you gone? Yeah.
Right.
And they said they did. No. Can I have your autograph? Say that.
Can I have your autograph, please?
Well, you do to me.
Okay. Can I have your autograph, please?
No, I'm going to do that. Can I have your autograph, please?
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. You're not.
Are you anybody?
No, are you any? But you're not. That's what kills me. You're not. You're not. I got to tell you one story. We got time to get the news. Ruth and myself were in Vegas. I was playing in Vegas. That was our, 25th anniversary. So I said, well, let's have a little honeymoon between the shows. We'll go over to the dunes where you don't smoke, do you?
No. Don't allow it in here.
I don't hear you.
I said you're off the show.
Fuck you. Did your show last night?
Well, I'll talk about my book. I know.
With Schwartz, Mr. Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I go to Vegas, and I'm playing at the Sands or someplace. So I said, let's have a nice go. And we go over to the dunes where they got the fish food, and no, they got the guys with the parade, the violinists.
Yeah.
Sit in the corner, candlelight. Baby, it's wonderful, 25 years. Drink. I don't drink for sure. Just our luck. I look over here. I thought we'd be alone with no layman. You know.
Yeah.
And I look over there, there's a round table with guys with badges.
Convention.
My name is. You know, fucking convention. All of a sudden I give it a look over there, and the guy over there goes like this. You recognize him?
Yeah.
And now he starts to walk over and interrupts. And I get a kick from Ruth. You know, look who's coming, like, your wife was
brace yourself.
Jesus, brace yourself. I said, you're not. I said, I'm not. What, sir? You're not. I said, I heard you. You're not what? I'm not. You're not whom I think you are. Milton Berle. He says, because I bet my guys at the table, we're in the mattress business. I bet my guys at the table that you're not. Are you Milton Berle? Yes. I bet him 200. And he says, I thought he was going to walk away. He says, can I see your ID? I went like this to Ruth. Ruth says, show it to him and get him. I went, show me ID. He says, shit. This is his punchline. I can't win a goddamn bet in Vegas. Now, the juxtaposition of him gambling, and he couldn't win a bet even with me.
Yeah, he's going to lose everywhere.
Leonard,
nice to see you.
What's your book?
Yep, I'm doing what you're doing. Hustling the book.
My name in the fucking book?
Of course. If you have
Whispering
whispering ghosts in here, all that stuff's in.
I'm not talking about. I just made a TV movie, by the way.
I know. It sounds good.
Ready? I saw a rough cut.
Yeah?
Ready? Fucking, but no, it's good.
Yeah.
It's with Sid Caesar, Danny Thomas, myself. We will not talk about that. I'm here to talk about my book. Did you read the fucking book?
From cover to cover. Nothing in between.
You stole my time, you son of a bitch. I wish I'd have said that. You stole my time. Remember we were talking. What happened to that giant man?
Gone.
Is he gone?
Yeah.
Did he take a cab?
Yeah.
You're
Are we on the air? What is this, your own private thing?
No, get out. He's from the station. Get the fuck. You've had enough.
Yes, sir.
Get out of here.
Thank you.
You had enough of fucking cassette. You better pay me for this. Art, it's so good to see you. And I haven't seen you in a long time.
No, I think one of the last times was a big dinner that I emceed for you when you were made national chairman of the Geriatric Society.
Well, not Jerry. Oh, that's true. ALA.
Yeah.
American Longevity Association.
That's another way of putting it.
Well, that's...
And since there are 29 million Americans over 65 years of age, including you and me, you are heading up quite a slug of people.
Well, I have a very warm spot in my heart for this organization. It's done through the UCLA medicine. I'll tell you that story. That's the story about. I read the book on what was that sex book? Sex and Education.
Sex and
Masters
Single Girl.
Masters and.
Oh yeah, Masters and.
Who else? And
Johnson.
Master Johnson. I read the book. I could hardly put my wife down. That was the joke.
That's the whole joke.
But now you're talking about my book.
It's called BS I Love You, and I don't understand. It should be PS, isn't it?
No, that's exactly right. Now, BS Art does not stand for Barbara Streisand. It does not stand for Bobby Short, Barbara Stanwyck. It stands for what it is.
Yes.
And we're on the air. But, I was listening to you coming over and driving in a cab. In my cab. I was driving the cab, in my car. And I was listening to you talking to Leonard Schwarzwald. What is it? Leonard Maltin of Entertainment Schwartz or something. And he wrote this wonderful book. I hear, but I haven't read it yet.
Well, the book is 175,000 titles, or 17,000 titles, so it doesn't have a very good plot.
You were remarking about, when we said BS, and is it PS, and you were remarking about the morality of television comedy that is not under the auspices of FCC, and you were talking about certain peoples, without mentioning their names, about the obscenities and the words that they use when they do stand-ups and tell jokes. And I got thinking as I got out of the car how right you are, because, for example, I shouldn't. Why should I interrupt this situation now? But I have to do it because I got it on my mind. When you look at a man, may he rest in peace, like Jack Benny and Bob Hope and George Burns and Skelton and Gleason, and including me, yours truly, in it too, we all come from a different school. We were brought up in a different school. We were trained in a different school from vaudeville, where it was. The censorship was just tremendous. For example, during the early days of television, when I was on for Texaco, which would be 40 years this year that I started television. Not that you asked me, but I'm just thinking of the censorship, even when we did it on television. It was, well, it was terrible. Not terrible. I do not believe in not censorship. I believe in, I believe.
You don't believe
I'm against censorship.
Right,
I'm against censorship. But I've sort of changed now because I have got a cable set, and we all have, and I have to turn it off when I hear four-letter words and all that, because you see, the training that I came from, we didn't need it, and they think they need. I got the answer to that. They think they need a vulgarity or a verbal word or from a shock treatment, but I got another reason that I think that they do it for their own fun. They do it for their own jollies. I think that I want to see them get shocked. And you know, they're not completely to blame.
Yeah.
There's going to be silence here, but they're not. It's the ones who pay to see this.
That's right.
Remember that. Now, finished. Now, let's talk about, or take a stop for a minute, and let's do a commercial. And
Good idea. Let's take a break. Thank you, Milton. I wouldn't have done that without you. I'm Art Linkletter, sitting in for Michael Jackson. Of course, this is Talk Radio.
He was in this wheelchair, and I said to him, Parky, I don't think you should be here tonight. This is too stressful. And I think you walked over and you said, gee, what are you doing here, Parky? I heard you weren't feeling well. He said, no, I got to do it. He says, making people laugh, that's my life, right? Which might sound like a cliche. And I remember his wife, Thelma Leeds, was in the audience, and I remember that night so well that he was so strong.
Oh, he was great.
He was the hit of the show, Park Your Carcass. And he did a routine about the friars, about
the pigeons.
The pigeons in the store.
The rest of the stuff.
The card room and all that. And he was sitting right next to me. Do you remember that, Art? And
he sat down, put his head on your shoulder.
Put his head on my shoulders.
And died. How do you like that?
He went, boom, right on my shoulder.
Of course, we didn't know he was dead, but we knew something serious had happened.
You know what was very... remains in my memory. We had every great physician and surgeon, heart specialist in the audience watching that show. I'm not going to mention him. And when he hit my shoulder and took his last bow with that last big laugh, and was the hit of the show, of course, I remember, Art, you saying, stand up and take another bow, and
you were never greater.
He couldn't. And I looked at him, and I saw his hands and all that, and his eyes, and the whole evening went to pot. And I'll tell you, Ruth was in the audience sitting next to Edwin and Thelma Leeds, Thelma Einstein, Thelma Parker Cocker's wife, and you said you tried to save it. I remember.
Well, I was looking up and down the hall.
Yeah, and then you announced, has anybody in the audience got any nitroglycerin pills? This is the laugh because I have to do this in the middle of this sorrow. Do you know how many boxes were thrown up on the stage?
We could have covered him.
Then we took him backstage, and they didn't have their utilities with them. They're the doctors and the great heart specialists. Corday, the greatest. Kenema, Mitch Carlin, all of them.
Yeah.
So they used knives and forks to open them up, and they used electric bulbs to try to bring them to, and we lost him.
Yeah.
But that's over. May he rest in peace.
And I was looking up and down the dais trying to decide what to do next, because this was a dramatic moment. And all of the comics, any of whom hadn't been on, shook their heads. No, don't call on me. And finally, Tony Martin was going to sing.
No, if you can remember what he sang.
I certainly do. I said, Tony, do us a song.
Yes.
And he came up and he did the song, he rehearsed, and here's how he started the song. There's no tomorrow.
Oh my, there's no tomorrow. And I grabbed him. I said, stop singing that song.
It's amazing that you would have... It was an unusual...
I don't know how long ago that was, in the 58, 59.
Oh, yeah. But we're going to get into some fun stuff, because the book is 60 funny years with the famous and the infamous, and we started with the most tragic. So when we come back, I'll have Milton recall some of those marvelous, wonderful years with the Milton Berle, a man who remembers 60 years, at least, of the most wonderful and interesting and exciting evenings, perhaps, in the history of American informal theater with the Friars Club, which, for many of you who do not know it, was basically a theatrical, show business, entertainment fraternity that started in New York City and then had a branch that moved out here and became very popular and very prominent in Hollywood. And Milton, I could just mention a couple of the names that have been in and out of the Friars Club since you've been a member. And you were taken there first time when you were how old?
Well,
I was 12 years old.
And Eddie Cantor.
Eddie Cantor. I was in a show called Florodora, the Sextet. Tell Me Pretty Maiden. I was 12 years old, and I was pretty, flippant, wisecracking, very precocious kid. And, I used to do jokes like, it's a lovely suit, who shines it for you? And they used to say, very funny, very funny. And then Eddie Cantor, whom I did an imitation of, everybody did an impression of Eddie Cantor in those days, and Jolson. And I was 12 years old, and my mother was a very good friend of Ida Cantor, Eddie's wife, who always looked like George Washington in drag. I used to say that to her. She said, "Oh, very funny, Mel, very funny." And Eddie Cantor said to my mother, he said, Sarah, her right name was Sarah. Then when I made a few bucks, she changed it to Sandra. Then I made some more money, she changed it to Sandy. Then she went to San, and then she went to, And Eddie Cantor said to my mother, "Hey, this kid is kind of precocious. He's got a good sense of humor, but I like to have him meet the big boys." And my mother said, "What do you mean the big boys?" "Well, I like him to meet the big boys from that era in 1920. Will Rogers, George M. Cohan, H.L. Mencken, Alexander Walcott, at the Friars Club, Irving Berlin, of course, who is going to be 100. Yeah, he's going to be 100. God love him. And so, do you mind if I take him over there, Sarah?" So my mother said, "No, but how are you going to let him in? He's 12 years old. We'll get him." So they got me a pair of long pants, my father's, and they put a mustache on me, and I went in as I was quite tall for my age, but he disguised me, and I sat at the table, the round table for lunch at the Friars Club in 1920, and I was listening, and I heard lines that, later on, back in 31 and 32, everybody, after Winchell, tagged me the thief of bad gags. Yeah. They me, stealing other people's material, which is not true. I never stole a joke in my life. I used to find them before they were lost. That's all. And it sort of accelerated because I used to listen to these lines at the round table at the Friars in 1920. Then I became a friar in 1929. But I had pieces of paper that I used to write on under the table. And
you could write a joke under the table?
Yeah, with a little pencil and a piece of paper, tissue paper, or paper from the bathroom, whatever. Paper. And then I would roll them up and put them away into a secret file. And I've had them for years, for 40 years. So this is how the book started. And I had to decipher who said it. Was it Fred Allen? And Fred Allen said something about me in 1932. He said, "Milton Berle has very witty ears." What I hear, I do. But there's a lot of infamous people in there that...
And of course Al Capone was in there one time. He was not a performer, he was not a guest of honor, but he was part of the whole thing.
When we come back, if I can see your stage manager here, your director, giving you directions. 26 years old. I got underwear older than you. Anyway, you want to take a break? We'll be back and we'll talk about it.
Yes.
WQBK Q130 Talk Radio.
Welcome back. I'm Art Linkletter, sitting in for Michael Jackson, and my guest is Milton Berle, who has produced a book, a wonderful book called B.S. I Love You. And the foreword by George Burns says, "This book was read to me by a 20-year-old dancer." Isn't that marvelous? He says it's a good book, worthy of this foreword. George is a great guy. But we were talking a minute or two ago, Milton, about the very strange and rather shocking and startling inclusion of a guy like Al Capone in the Friars Club dinner.
Well, that's the part of the book that's the infamous. The famous were the ones that belonged. And they could bring him in as a guest.
Yeah.
And they did bring him in as a guest many times.
Did he say anything?
He did say something. He said, "Hey, this is a wonderful place. How come I don't own it?" Now, those are quotable quotes.
Yeah.
The great line that he used to speak like this, and he actually spoke like that, and he had a great sense of humor. And we were all sitting at the table. This is what I overheard, and Enrico Caruso must have had, I don't know if you know this, but he smoked 20 cigars a day and smoked 5 packs of cigarettes.
Caruso?
Yes, he did, and sang
with
was
that
the
voice.
Greatest. Yes, the greatest. And the following week, there was a Friars Frolic to be held, like a Friars function like we do out here now. And Frisco was on the show, and Enrico Caruso was on the show. And Frisco, with his wonderful ad-libbing, turned over to Enrico Caruso. He says, listen, Ricky, when we do the Friars Frolic and we're both on the show, I hope you don't sing at Dogtown Strutter's Ball before me. Miss Tannen or Phil Baker, I'm going back now, I'm going back for years.
Yeah.
That's said today by Robin Williams, who was brilliant, or Richard Pryor or Eddie Murphy.
It's still the same joke, but told in a different frame of reference.
A different joke, done with a different style and a different behavior and a mood. You have a phone? People call in here?
People are going to phone. They're going to kill us if we don't go to the phone. So when we come back, we're going to let them talk to you.
I'll be very happy to.
I'm Art Linkletter, sitting in for Michael Jackson. Welcome back. I'm Art Linkletter, sitting in for Michael Jackson. Milton Berle's here talking about a new book he has out called B.S. I Love You. And incidentally, I have a new book out called Old Age Is Not for Sissies. And in my book, I talk about the importance of staying active and staying interested and staying curious and staying busy. And Milton Berle should be on the cover of my book too, because here he is approaching 80 next July 12th, and he's writing books, doing lectures, doing movies. You're going to go on just as long as you can breathe and talk and walk?
Well, as long as they laugh, I'll be bowing. That's George Burns' line.
And as long as they laugh, all of your glands will be working, because I don't think anything stimulates the whole body more than the realization that you're making people have a happy moment in their life.
I think what you had just said, being old is for sissies, I think Norman Cousins put it right, where he said, laughter is the best relief for stress.
Sure it is. And you've distressed many people.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That means without stress.
You're going to be in your television set the week of January 18th?
I understand you're bringing back.
That's a good That's a good lead-in, the way I said it.
Yeah, aren't you coming back with a special show built around your wonderful, great programs of yesteryear?
Well, yesteryear, so these are the 50s.
Yeah.
It's called, my name, The Second Time Around. The reason it's called The Second Time Around, these films, these black and white kinescopes, which we had to transfer to tape, have not been seen unless these people, please the Lord, are still around. They have never been rerun because we couldn't rerun them because they were kinescope. So I put together a show, and in the show I think is great highlights. Elvis Presley, I worked with all of them, of course. Who's going to work with them? Charlie Greenbaum, and Presley, Dean Martin, and Jerry Lewis's debut. Frank Sinatra, Bob Hope, Jack Benny, Red Skelton, Martha Ray, Phil Silvers. Johnny Palaio and the Harmonica Rascals. And it's, if they want to know what variety show means, I think they should watch this, because it's very important. Because variety means different types of performers, and it's part vaudeville too, and that's actually what vaudeville stood for.
And what date's that going to be?
It is syndicated, so it's starting January 18th all around the country. And out here, Channel 13, KCOP, it'll be on January 23rd at 8 o'clock following Jeopardy. Jeopardy, was it? Jeopardy. Jeopardy.
Of course, you could have made a whole series out of it. How many shows did you do? You did 10 years of them?
I did, we did 39 shows a year. I don't know if you recall that.
I remember.
And I did about, I have, under my possession, I have 180 hours. So I think it's going to be, praise the Lord, for good health and everything, it will no doubt turn into a series, a strip series, in the latter part of 1988, this year, 5 times cross-board, called Second Time Around, with a different cast every show.
Great.
So that's how much material I have.
And interestingly enough, when you mention that, there hasn't really been a successful variety show on television now in years and years and years. They're hard to put on.
Not only hard to put on, economically,
yes,
you can't do it.
That's right.
Money-wise.
We've come to the end of this hour and to the end of today's program, and I want to thank again my guest, Milton Berle, for being with us.
A special celebration. Every car on the lot discounted for sale. You'll save hundreds of or even thousands of dollars. There's been a factory price increase on January 11th, but they have over 50 cars still available at the old price. So if you act now, you'll save even more. Don't miss the celebration sale while the supplies last. Only at the #1 act.
To my shower. Can we do the thing where we call your mom again with Michael?
Sure.
What's the number?
718 232. I should call her up and warn her so she knows.
Let's do it now.
Hello, America. You know what happened? The way he talks, she never understood him.
Oh, did she not?
Where do I talk? Where's the microphone?
Right here. You only got once. You just keep running about maybe 20 seconds, because we'll take you in about a minute.
Hello? Hello, Mom. It's Dom. How are you?
I'm okay, Dom. And you?
Very good. Ma, I'm going to do a radio show, and the man said, I'd like to talk to your mother, but I will be very sure you understand everything. His name is Michael Jackson. So if you want to, they want you to be on the radio to talk about the book, and so I'll be very careful that you understand everything, okay?
No, from the house.
Right from you, from there, now.
Yeah, right now?
No, in about 10 minutes.
Okay, fine.
I love you, Ma.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this for me.
Well, of course I do.
All right, Ma.
No.
I love you.
That's wonderful.
I love her too. I love your mother.
After the show, if you can do it.
Absolutely. I mean, there's nothing like having a camera.
Gotcha.
Are we going into this Michael Jackson? It's so good.
You have your notes down?
This way?
Yep, it's right there.
Down? You have your notes?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Your book and everything? I mean,
You look great. Ken.
How are you? I'm on. You know there are hundreds of Mexican restaurants in the vallay.
Ay, caramba, muchacho mujero.
Is that an unsolicited testimonial, sir?
It's a testimonial and an answer.
Let me explain. What this gentleman is saying, this honorable representative from the People's Republic of, is that Hugo's Mexican restaurant is probably the... You've never heard of it, though, have you, sir?
Hugo's? Oh, no, I know Hugo's.
Honest?
It's a good...
Ugly place.
No, I like Hugo's, and I enjoy the food there very much.
It's like a little kitchen. I mean, you are just sitting at his Viata shrimp is absolutely sensational. But what I'd suggest you do when you go there, I first suggest you go there, and secondly, let him be the deciding factor as to what you have. Let him suggest. He's the fellow with the big moustache. Hugo's Mexican Restaurant. One of the outstanding Mexican restaurants in Southern California. They catered our entire KABC Christmas party. Hugo's. Visit and see for yourself. They're in Reseda at 18530 Sherman Way, 1 block west of Reseda. For reservations, call 343-4482. 343-4482. I'm delighted to have with us.
Do you know that Hugo's was my illegitimate son? Yes. A few years ago, I had an indiscreet moment with a wonderful Mexican girl.
Well, then she deserved more than enough.
That's right. And Hugo's, I'm so pleased, I'm so proud that I know Burt Reynolds personally. I've written a book. I have. Actually, my name is Jose Jimenez. No, my name. I'm Hugo's father, Dom DeLuise. I'm also known as Peter DeLuise's father. I have a son who's on a show called 21 Jump Street. I have a wife who's listening at home to this wonderful radio show.
We got married the same year, you know.
That's right, 1965, right? So I've been married 22 years, you've been married 22 years, and if people ask me what it's like to be married to Carol, who's Carol Arthur Jane,
yes.
Arata.
Can I ask the question, so it's my job? What is it like to be married to Carol Arthur Jane?
Jane. It's very nice, actually. It's very nice. There are moments when I feel
I could inspirationally tell where she was going.
I wouldn't have missed working with Mae West for anything in the world. And she was very sweet, you know. She in the morning I would say hello to her like I was talking to her. I'd say, "Hi, Mae, how you doing?" She'd say, well, "Can you get my purse?" And I'd get her purse, and I'd walk to her with her purse as she walked. You know, she laughed. She was great. Three of my happiest ones.
Dom, I wanted to ask. I'd heard that you went to the high school of performing arts.
I did.
Is that so?
Yes.
I did also. What years were you there?
I graduated in 1951.
51, so you were one of the originals.
Yeah, I was one of the originals, right, absolutely. And since then, a lot of people have graduated from that school, and now it's depicted in Fame.
Right. Grace, thank you for your call. Time for a final quick one. Renee?
Hi.
Hi.
Michael. Hi, Dom.
Hi.
I just wanted to tell you, Dom, that I have been watching you ever since you were on the Mike Douglas show. You were a magician, and Ruth Busby was your
Absolutely, Shagundala. Ruth and I are going to do that again soon.
Oh, really?
Shagundala?
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, I've loved you ever since.
Oh, thank you. You know, can I mention somebody whispered to me that I have a book out which is nice.
What's it called?
It's called Eat This Will Make You Feel Better. Yeah. But I have a video, an Eat This video with my mom shopping and cooking. And if you want the video, there's a number to call me. An 800. It's an 800 number, and the number is 544-3434. 544-3434.
Right,
it's an 800 number, 544-3434, and you just ask for the Eat This video, and it's $24
Eat This video. Thank you for joining us, Dom DeLuise.
I wouldn't have missed it for the world, and thanks for being so nice to my mom.
Pleasure. In the next hour, lesbian mothers.
Maybe you've seen it.
But can they cook?
This is the story.
How am I lesbian mothers? The less being said about it, the better.
Oh. On January 1st, AT&T long-distance prices just came down.
That's nice.
Daytime prices.
Yeah, worked out with my mom.
And you can tell him I never get Burt Reynolds on my show.
You want him?
Yes, of course I want Burt Reynolds.
I call him up and I can...
First one is this. Just see if you can just read that.
Okay. I was the star of such movies as I starred in movies like Cannonball Run, Fatso, The 12 Chairs. My new book is entitled Eat This, It'll Make You Feel Better. Your trivia time on screen question is, who am I?
And then you just read the answer after this.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold the mic in just a little bit to Dom. That's good. Thank you.
I was the star. It's not the star. I starred in. I worked. I was.
Okay.
I acted in. How's that?
Okay, fine.
I acted in such movies as Cannonball Run, Fatso, The 12 Chairs. My new book is entitled Eat This, It'll Make You Feel Better. Your trivia question is, on screen, who am I?
Okay.
I can do it better.
Okay, just one more time.
I starred in such movies as. I starred in such movies as Cannonball Run, Fatso, The 12 Chairs. I have a new book entitled Eat This, It'll Make You Feel Better. Your trivia time on-screen question is, who am I? The trivia time answer is, Dom DeLuise.
And you can say, now back to Bill Smith.
The trivia time answer is, I'm Dom DeLuise. The trivia time answer, if you got Dom DeLuise, you were right. And now, back to Bill Smith. Take it, Bill.
And one more, if you can say, this is Dom DeLuise with the Ken and Bob Company. Good morning.
This is Dom DeLuise with the Ken and Bob Company. Used to be called the Bob and Ken Company, but they straightened themselves out. Here they are. Good morning. Have a nice day.
Okay.
You want less?
Fine. Is that fine?
Did he say his name? I didn't hear.
This is Dom DeLuise. Hello, 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 hello. This is Dom DeLuise with the Bob and Ken Company. Used to be called the Ken and Bob Company, but they straightened themselves out. Hey, have a nice day. Right now, here's Ken and Bob.
Thank you very much.
You're good, Don.
My pleasure. That's all?
Yeah. You want to ask, wait.
Yes.
If you want to ask one more, if you can think of another trivia question, you can
Sure.
ask. Okay.
I have worked in 5 Mel Brooks pictures. I have worked with Burt Reynolds in 7 pictures. I worked with Doris Day. I had a lot of television time with Dean Martin. I'm chubby, cute, bald, and very, very handsome. Your trivia question is, who am I? If your trivia answer was Dom DeLuise, you win a box of cookies. No cookies. I lied about the cookies.
Okay, that's fine.
You had a good one about the White House. Remember the Santa Claus?
Yes. I have worked with Burt Reynolds. I have also worked with Doris Day. I've worked with Dean Martin and Frank Sinatra. I have been in a car chase in a few movies, and I dressed up like Santa Claus at the White House last year. Who am I? That's your trivia question. Jingle bells. If you guess Dom DeLuise, you win nothing. And I hope you like it. And now, back to Ken and Bob.
Okay, we'll take the
And now, back to Ken, and you guessed it, Bob! Here's Ken, and oh, wow, look who's right behind him. Bob! Is that Bob and Ken coming down the road? You bet. Here's Bob and Ken now. Wow. They're frying something in that pan. It's
Right on camera. KABC Talkradio, time is 10:47. If you love appreciating or admiring art, especially Native American Indian art, then do stop by the National Heritage Gallery of Fine Art. They're on Rodeo Drive, North Rodeo Drive, 315 North Rodeo between Chanel and Gucci. The National Heritage Gallery, very proud to exhibit the rare quality. The length of time to complete each work has never been a factor. If you have happened to walk by the gallery, you may have noticed their in-house sculptress, DeLuise. DeLuise does beautiful work, a traditional clay sculptress of Western, Indian, and Art Nouveau. But you might already know her by her most recent commission of Gene Autry and his horse Champion on permanent display at the Gene Autry Western Heritage Museum. The National Heritage Gallery, 315 North Rodeo Drive. If you have any inquiries, give them a call, 278-0530.
More? Gene is the one with the walker, I think.
Build this
up.
Yeah. All Mercedes-Benz owners
who?
To know more about the cars they drive.
No, wrong number.
House of Import.
3391, but you got the wrong number. Get my life.
Regularly scheduled customer seminar. Incomparable House of Imports at 213 or 7.
I'm just a sweet trans.
Don't forget to get to line 5.
Oh, you mean line 3 with the music? Oh!
Yes, we've done 3.
Yeah, I've got her. Fran?
Yeah.
Stand by. Now you got a piece of music?
I have a sheet music, yes.
For me and my gal?
Hi, Meredith.
Okay, stay with me.
Hi, oh, another young lady. How old?
I'm 13.
Yes, ma'am.
Marita,
I'm calling to
get ready.
say hi for my sister Melissa, who's in school, and she's really hungry.
Oh, that's
yeah.
very nice.
What time is Nader coming on?
12.
Thank you.
So she's in classes this morning and she can't call?
No, yeah.
Tell her I got the message.
Okay.
Meet her in the parking lot, the usual way. Marita,
Yes.
morning.
Good morning. Tim,
Hello.
this is Marita, your ex-roommate from Central Park West.
Oh, that's amazing.
Hi.
How are you? Is this something, I mean...
Tim was doing travesties on Broadway
That's true.
10 years ago, and
That's right.
he sublet my Aunt Joan's apartment that I was living in.
That's fantastic. And there were 2 cats.
Oh, yes.
What were they called? Chips?
Pumpernickel.
Pumpernickel, yeah. That was a great apartment, too.
I know.
It was Jane Hackett's apartment.
Yes.
And I was doing a Tom Stoppard play called Travesties. You really worked with some great... You worked the works of some great writers. Peter Shaffer, Tom Stoppard. I've done three plays of Tom's. If my name was Stoppard and I said I have a play, would your answer be before you heard anything about it? Timing is everything. Absolutely. It would be. Marita, did he pay the rent?
Did he pay the rent?
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
I sure did. Actually, I remember something very nice that Tom Stoppard did when he came to see me in
Hold
that
on, I
apartment.
can't. I'm in a payphone booth because I heard you on the radio and I thought, oh, what the heck.
What the heck? Well, Tom Stoppard came to visit me at your apartment, and he looked through the bookshelves as you know writers tend to do, and found a copy of Jumpers, his play, on Joan's shelves, and took it out and wrote inside it, "To Joan with love from Tom," and I said, should I tell her that you've done that? And he said, no, I wanted to find it as a surprise. Of course you won't believe it. I thought that was such a wonderful thing to do.
Oh, I remember one night he met me, and then the next day he met me and said, hello, how are you? And I said, you've never met me.
Now, you're a publicist.
Right.
Most of my audience...
I'm a retired.
No, I've just brought you back to life. Most people have never seen the Rocky Horror Show in a mass audience. By briefest description, could either or both of you tell me what the heck it was all about? And I saw it twice. I'm still trying to work it out.
I saw it a million times, and each time there was something new that I saw in it. It was a pretty wild show. I don't know. Tim, how would you describe it?
Well, I think, it was a mix of a lot of things that were just...
part of that gender.
Yes. Well, I mean, horror comics,
my brother saw it in London as well.
horror movies, particularly B-movies,
That's not part of the movie.
and kind of glitter rock, which was happening at the time. It was actually a sort of joke.
Yeah, it was a satire.
With that in mind, you were the transvestite? I was.
Such strenuous living, I just don't understand. When in just 7 days, oh baby, I can make you a man.
Do those words sound familiar, Shirley?
Oh, do they ever, and were they great? I'll tell you, it was really, having only handled very conservative things, and then to go into this whole rock thing was such a shock. But it was so wonderful because it was a great cast, and Tim was marvelous, and they were all so cooperative. It was a real joy.
Well, I'm glad, and it's very nice to hear you.
And I've got to get in to see you in your show. Because,
please do.
And I would love to see you. So if I do get in, I will certainly come back to at least say hello and give you a hug.
You bet. Yes, please. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Papa, you've had an hour of hugs. Isn't that enough? I know. Well, I'll be watching you on stage. Thank you for joining us, Tim. Thank you very much, man.
There were women who loved their men so much, they happily...
Only
Tomorrow night, possibly, if
February
possible,
13th.
if you like.
The Olympic tradition
Saturday, it's up, but we'll work out.
Say hi to the folks.
Here's the piece of sheet music, and that's your... Okay, thank you. Thanks so much. Is she sending it to me? She wants us to call them. They both come? Yes. There's some information that came yesterday after you invited to the show. Just some articles on drug testing and
It's very warm on you.
recent stuff.
Good. Wonderful. Good. Great response.
Thank you so much.
No
problem.
I'm the one who preserves it for history.
Oh, okay.
And being chased by posterity.
You want to leave or you want to stay?
No, I ought to.
Bathroom?
I ought to leave.
Okay.
Actually, since you ask, yes.
Yeah, okay, go there. Yeah, right around this corner here. Can I follow you in? Keep going. To your left. Towards the light. On action. Wait a minute. On action. And action.
Mr. Curry.
No pictures. No pictures.
So my name's Trina. I work over at KLOS. I just wanted to say hi.
Oh,
Big
hi.
fan.
Well, thank
Seen
you.
Rocky Horror millions of times.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
great.
it's forward too.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. Was it fun over there?
Yeah, it was.
Had a good time?
Yeah, particularly the ads.
Why don't do you have a card on you? Or
so much, but it was
we'll go back, or I'll write down the book and I'll call
Which way do you want to go out?
Let's take him this way because Norman's got to go back this way.
I just want to, just so I can check the locations. If we may be tight on seats, and I don't want Michael to sit.
Well, if not, they can come next week.
Yeah,
No big deal.
we'll make arrangements whenever. But let me double check with you before you reconfirm with Michael. So if I can call you back and
And to the door to the right.
You can go out the door that says you can. Tim,
You'll
thank
love
you
this
for getting
part.
out. I'm going to get my things.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I'll see you later.
Up and down the hall.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being a good sport.
Bye, guys.
Memo to these from his friend Robert Waller.
Daily supermarket, a few stores is doing it, but not Safeway.
Is irradiated food necessary?
No. It's basically an industry is trying to make money by shoving millions of tons of fruits and vegetables and other products through these tubes with cobalt, radiation, and it doesn't reduce pesticide application in the fields, and it has a very, very questionable impact on the chemistry of the food. And there's questions about whether that nutritional content and whether the chemistry of the food is going to be changed disadvantageous to people's health.
What other area with that in mind? Food which is imported, how well tested is that? We seem to sort of get away with murder if it's ethnic.
Well, I'll tell you, the Food and Drug Administration, according to the General Accounting Office, tests far, far less than 1% of the samples that come in. So here's the result. A lot of ethnic food, which is good food, if it's clean, comes in from countries where there's very, very poor health inspection, and the Reagan administration has not seen fit to really beef up.
So I'm just going to send a little note that says, Charlie, good to see you again. Just to recap, a little note to recap what I discussed with Stephanie today. So that,
Art and craft of filmmaking could possibly fail to include, I was going to say pages, but whole chapters on our guest. She is and always has been a star. I mean, from long before TV concocted something redundant known as superstar. The star is super, Bette Davis. She's written a part of her story which evokes memories and entertains and enlightens and all kinds of things that you'd expect from the Academy Award-winning actress. She calls it this and that. Bette Davis, if you care to speak with her.
Honored to be here. I am really an admirer.
Of mine?
Of yours. Yes,
No,
I
it's
am.
the other way around. Oh, I know.
Well, we can have a mutual admiration society. That's nice. But I am very, 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 very a fan of yours. And radio was my fondest medium. And when we lost radio for actors and had to go into television and all this, I will always miss radio because you could, with your voice, create so very many things. And you didn't have to be all made up and all fixed up. And you were in the studio kind of doing it privately. I miss it.
And of course, you used imagination. Sets were as large as you conjured them up to be.
This is right. And I did 2 radio series, 1 mystery series, and I played a woman for a year with George Brent and William Conrad in a series for a year on
Remember
radio.
what great voices the film stars of yesteryear used to have. The men don't anymore.
They do not. No.
On New Year's Eve, there is, I believe, a Davis family custom of making a wish for the new year.
Oh, yes, yes, there certainly is.
On a piece of paper, you throw it in the fireplace and
That's right.
up it goes
I
in
tell,
smoke.
of course, nobody.
Oh, darn, that empties my question then. I was going to say,
Well-
what'd you write this year?
Well, this year, I wish much success to my assistant, Catherine Cermak,
Yes.
who has been hired as an associate producer by Mr. Barry Cohn on my next film. So I just wish all this for her and that she will go on to great, great, wonderful things from this job.
My next film. I mean, do you have to work?
I have to work for myself.
Oh, yes, I didn't expect for any other reason, ma'am. I mean...
No. Well, every now and then it's rather pleasant to make a little money, you know. It doesn't hurt.
It's more pleasant to make a lot, I suppose.
Yes, it does not hurt.
Does it astound you, the figures they make these days? I was reading that Bruce Willis is going to get $5 million for a movie.
I could not be ruder about it. I think it's horrible. I would be embarrassed, I think, because it's robbing all the people in charge of a lot of their percentage. But I blame the people that pay that, not the actor who accepts it. Who knows, I might be pretty tempted, even though I thought it was ridiculous. But it's the men themselves doing it.
I suppose you get what you
film.
And yet you're willing to defend that studio system that churned them out.
Oh, yes, but the ones I'm talking about, they did not churn out.
No.
No. But the studio system, of course.
Kept you working.
It not only that, it kept you so that people took you into their families. You became part of their families through the continuity of working a great deal of the time.
Henrik Bergman once said that the most important things for a long career were good health and a short memory.
Yes, I quote that very, very often.
Your health hasn't been, but you've certainly fought back magnificently. How's your memory?
Well, my memory, they say my memory drunk is better than anybody sober. That's been the things my friends have said to me. My memory is quite astrological.
Well, yes. Of course you're a star. You have written, too, on my tombstone should be written, "She did it the hard way."
Right.
Now, was that by choosing?
That was a suggestion of Joseph Mankiewicz from All About Eve.
Yes.
Baby made up, huh?
And I really like it, the hard way. And that really comes from the Yankee upbringing. We're workers. We don't want it to be easy. It must be hard to feel you have accomplished something.
When you first became an actress, would people look at you and say, she's the girl most likely to succeed?
No, not at all.
So then you may never have become a star if they'd said that.
No, I was fortunate I came to Hollywood when I did and fell in love with motion pictures. And due to George Arliss, I stayed here at Warner's for 18 years. And I love the medium of the screen for acting.
Let's continue in just a moment. Our guest, the one and only Bette Davis. I'm Michael Jackson. This is 940 KNST News and Talk Radio for Tucson.
And she really smokes, boy. She inhales that down to her toes. Late 80s, you say?
That's what I heard.
She's one of the only stars probably in Hollywood besides Kathy Neptune. We didn't have our Facebook.
Is that right?
I think so. She never made up with her. Oh, she's still a great little mask. Yeah, I'm going to call my
We're person WQBK. This is Talk Radio. I'm Michael Jackson. Our guest, Bette Davis. You notice I did not help you light your cigarette. I will not.
Well, I respect your feelings about it.
I'll do anything else that a gentleman's supposed to do, but I can't contribute to your delinquency.
Well, I shan't demand much of you today.
By the way, how do you know who likes you for yourself and who you are?
Well, sometimes I guess you don't accept. I have never approached any new person worrying about that.
Good.
If one worried about that, well, you're trying to become a hermit, I guess. No, I've never sort of let that be a big problem to me.
You know, you write that there are few accomplishments in your life that you're sincerely proud of. I can name one, and it should be the fact that you're the 5th person and the first woman to receive the Life Achievement Award from the American Film Institute.
Yes, that was a very, very great honor.
Give me another one.
Bumpy night, George.
Well, of course, getting the Kennedy Center Award this year. I waited about 10 or 12 years for that. Every year, I was furious I wasn't chosen.
Were you really?
Oh, yes, and once they sent me the piece of paper where you suggest people for the next win.
They
and on one I put...
me.
No, they sent to all of us
Yes.
to suggest. And in big letters, I put me. But it took 4 more years for me to get it. But it is an impressive, impressive evening there in Washington.
I'll give you another one that you've overlooked and you'll never be forgotten for. Hollywood Candy.
Well, thank you. Yes, a lot of love and time, and well, it was just something I'm glad that I was part of.
Have you been hurt by the book that your daughter wrote?
Well, let me say what I said in This and That.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, was finished long before I really even knew she had a book.
Well, I think you actually
Or
added
any
a chapter
part of it.
about it, yes.
And the only thing I added to my book, This and That, after that was the letter at the end to B.D. Hyman.
Yeah.
As I also say in the book, my book, her book was as catastrophic to me as was my stroke.
Really?
There are two differences now. I have recovered from my stroke, but deep in my heart, I will carry the sadness that B.D. Hyman wrote this book.
You did so much for her and for her husband, and your relationship throughout your life seems to have been so
Yes,
lovely.
it was beautiful.
I then will drop the subject.
Thank you very much.
In just a moment, after a brief break, let's take some of the many incoming calls, and I'll wager they're all filled with love. And I know the next question I want to get to. When you first began to realize that you were, as you obviously are, strong. Our guest, Bette Davis, will continue. I'm Michael Jackson on Talk Radio.
This is WQBK Talk, Capital Region.
This is Talk Radio. I'm Michael Jackson. Our guest is Bette Davis, author of This and That. Were you cut out to be a married woman?
I think so. I think so. I like being married.
That's why you did it quite frequently.
Well, I never gave up, as you can see. Find.
You say.
So the right marriage.
However, on page 144, in your own words, you say, "This fourth failure in marriage convinces me I'm obviously a complete failure as a wife."
Oh yes, that was. I always said that was it. If that did not work with Mr. Gary Merrill, it was it.
John, you're on Talk Radio.
Hi, Betty. How you doing?
Very well, thank you.
I think you're the greatest superstar ever. I'm going to go right to this question.
Yes, ma'am.
For me to do it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in 1969, I was at the Pheasant Run Lodge, and I met Gary Merrill.
Yes.
And
Where were you?
At the Pheasant Run Lodge in St. Charles, Illinois, outside of Chicago.
And you met Gary Merrill, yes.
Yes, and Gary was entertaining there.
What was he entertaining? What was he doing?
He was acting, I believe they were doing something on the road called the Arkansas Traveler.
Oh, well.
You had a question.
And my question was, is Gary Merrill in your book, and how much did you love him?
How do you
I love Gary Merrill very much. He is in my book with a chapter head, B.D.'s Fathers.
And you met him on the set of All About Eve, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And how long before you knew you were in love?
Well, we sort of were in love, I say, after the first 2 weeks or so. Yes.
John, thank you for your comment. Let's switch to Anne.
Hi, Michael.
Yes.
I'm an RN. I'm a director of nurses in a convalescent hospital, and I would like to thank Betty for all of her encouragement that she gives everybody that comes out from a stroke. She's doing great.
Could you have ever considered
Oh, well, that is a wonderful thing to hear, because that is really why I wrote this last book, This and That, hoping people would realize you can recover. So I'm glad to hear that from you.
You're a joy in everybody's eye.
Oh, thanks.
I wanted to ask you what you think of the new stars. My husband and I don't even hardly go to the movies anymore because of the quote stars.
Well, I must say I have a difficult time keeping up with the new names.
Yes.
Yes, and of course now we've all become very lazy with cable. We sit at home and wait for them to come to us.
With the old contract.
So I don't know many of them.
With the old contract system,
Yes.
you made one picture right after the other, as you pointed out. But it could take a decade to become something called a star. Now it's overnight.
Now it is overnight, that's right.
But you don't have to pay your dues.
This is right. No dues are paid today. They really aren't. But Gable, Tracy, me, Hepburn, all of us, came from the theater, and it was about 10 years before we were justified to be called a star.
And thank you for your comment. Charmaine, you're on with Bette Davis.
Yes, what a pleasure and honor, Miss Davis. You made a movie in the 40s playing sisters.
Twins.
Yes, Stolen Life.
Stolen Life. I wanted to know the name of this for years. I thought that your makeup and your hairstyle were the best of any movie you ever made.
Oh, thank you. Well, that's the only film I ever produced.
Really?
Yes, that Warner Brothers bought for me to produce.
And did you notice your hair was a bob?
Well, that is basically how, through all the years, I wore my hair.
Very beautiful.
Yes.
And you were just beautiful in that movie.
Well, thank you so much. I'm pleased to hear that.
Thank you, Charmaine.
Thank you.
By the way, speaking of makeup and things you produced, is it true that you did your own makeup for Whatever Happened to Baby Jane?
It certainly is. No makeup man would do what I wanted, because he said he'd never get another job. So I did do it.
How'd you get on with Joan Crawford?
Well, professionally,
yes.
It was, as a matter of fact, Joan one day said, we should put up on the wall, sorry, we're getting along very well. Or any press that came expecting to see us with knives. No, very professional woman, and I am, and we had no problems making the film, no.
Was it difficult for her to get into that makeup? Because it was so different from the image she created and sustained.
She did not like it. And Mr. Aldrich also had to remove her nail polish so her hands could come down the staircase. And she said, you've taken everything else away from me. I will not give up my nail polish. But she was used to being glamorous. And she didn't really like looking the way she had to look.
But if you count the years, the age that you've reached will be considered fairly old. Does that bug you?
Fairly old? My God, when I think in a few weeks I'll be 80 years old, it's staggering. When I think as a young woman, somebody 80 was really in their graves. Yes. No, I don't want to be older. There are so many parts today. I say, oh, wouldn't I love to play that?
Yes.
Yes, but I can't. No more.
Really? Is there any part?
But there's no great sorrow about it. I'm very grateful that on my 80th birthday, in actual fact this year, I will be starting my 87th movie. A movie called The Wicked Stepmother. And that rewards me very much, I must say.
Our guest is the very rewarding Bette Davis. I'm Michael Jackson. This is 940 KNST.
10 seconds call.
Is her woman fighting? Very young. Betty apparently has been through many people. But
This is Talk Radio. I'm Michael Jackson. Our guest is two-time Oscar winner, 10-time nominee Bette Davis. I got a nasty question to ask you.
Go right.
Okay. Your first award was for your performance in Dangerous. Do you really believe you deserved it for that?
Of course not.
Oh.
Of course not. It was for Human Bondage the year much better. Yes, I try to learn to take it. You have to do that in this business.
May I make one other quick comment?
Yes, of course.
My wife and I were watching one of these entertainment shows the other night, and they were talking.
The what?
What entertainment show where they tell you about the news stars?
After the making of Jezebel. That was really when I became a name that could carry a film on its own.
Have you enjoyed success?
Yes. Yes, I have. I have a very sort of grateful feeling about success to those who gave me the great parts, Mr. Wallace, to all the incredible people who have always stood back of me. And it's just, it's wonderful that it worked finally.
Why did you fight back? I mean, was there ever a stage lying in bed having had a stroke when you thought it's all over?
Well, after the stroke, I did think I might never work again. That was my horrible, horrible terror. Because work and Bette Davis are really the same. I love to work, to keep busy. And fortunately, I did work again.
Is it as easy now to learn the words as yesteryear?
Well, that was my terror too. Yes, I seem to have retained it. But in the first film after the stroke, this is what frightened me.
I'm sure.
But no, it was all right. It was all right, because I always try and learn the whole script before I start.
Tom, you're on Talk Radio.
Miss Davis, it's an honor to talk to you. If you were jealous of Katharine Hepburn's face, I'm sure she must have been very jealous of your eyes.
You mean we each had something special?
I'm sure she would
Well.
for your eyes. Do you like that song, Bette Davis?
Oh, my dear, my grandson never recovered from the fact that grandmother was part of the rock and roll world. That in the Disney films I made, I went way up in my grandson's estimation.
I know my son loves you very much.
Oh,
I
good.
saw the letter the other night. I loved the letter. And
Oh, to your son.
no, just by it was too late for him. You were shooting that man all the way down the hall. You know, it was really fun.
Oh, yes.
Watch her in the woods. You know, another of my favorite movies, and I know it's not yours,
70s.
but I love, and I have it on tape, it's Beyond the Forest.
I know more and more and more I'm hearing this from people, that they liked it. Yes, that they liked it.
How did you feel?
Well, I'll tell you what I felt about it.
That's what
I
you were
felt
to
that I
ask.
was
Just chime in
cast
anytime.
right. There's certain strength in my personality, and I think I, playing that part, would have left and gone to Chicago 20 years before. But I'll tell you that crawling along the road up to the train engine that became my lover.
Yeah.
No, it was not my favorite film, I have
I
to say.
think Joseph Cotton was miscast also. I thought
Mr. Joseph Cotton is they would not recast him. The husband was supposed to be obese, like a Eugene Paulette.
Yes.
And I begged to change Joseph Cotton. Who would leave Joseph Cotton?
That's right.
And I left Warner Brothers, I walked. Gave up my whole contract after that.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. I did give it up.
You're as you told Barbara Walters, you're too much, and I love you.
Yeah,
Thank you very much, Tom.
That's right.
By the way, speaking about walking or getting fired, there was a legend at one stage that if you were fired from Universal, you would eventually make it to the top. Was there substance to that?
Well, there must have been. Humphrey Bogart was fired.
Yes.
Clark Gable had been fired from Universal. I had been fired, so it stands to reason that was the truth.
I
We
guess
all did pretty well.
stands to reason and did pretty well. Author of This and That, Bette Davis. I'm Michael Jackson. This is News and Talk Radio for Tucson, KNST.
Terry, could you throw me a pen?
Terry?
Yeah.
Is David in there, Dave Rumor?
I think he just went in to see George Green for a second.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. He's at lunch. So we're going to find out. Okay. 10 seconds. It is.
Cool.
Music. Yeah.
WQBK 130 News Talk Radio.
I thoroughly enjoyed reading it. This and That, the book by our guest star, Bette Davis. Hi, Vern.
Yes, I was wondering from Miss Davis what she feels are the 3 or 4 greatest top films ever made.
By her or by anyone?
Anyone.
Anyone.
Well, my first on my list is Best Years of Our Lives
Oh, I love
by
that.
William Wyler. That is definitely my first. I can't write just quickly think of 2 more, but I'm sure I have.
All right.
I'm sure I have 2 more.
My name is Mr. Jordan, and you want entry you know where, years and years from now.
Yes, yes.
And I say, show me a sample of your work that convince me that you're entitled to be here in heaven. What might you show me?
What would I show you?
Yes.
Well, you have asked a real first.
I played with her years ago.
Well, would I arrive with an Academy Award?
You can arrive with anything you want.
Well,
having you here is my joy.
No, that's not like me to boast about what I have done. Would I arrive? Well, I could.
You don't have to answer questions. We live in an era when everybody's supposed to answer every question. You don't have to.
Oh, you don't have to.
But I wish you would.
Well, I don't
when she dies,
don't think I would arrive with any of my honest. I tell you, one thing I might arrive with, I was decorated by the Minister of...
We can do them before, that's why I'm asking.
The Minister in France.
Can we do it right after that?
Minister de Couture. And as an American citizen from the French government, I might be cheeky enough to put, well, that medal anyway.
You got the Legion of...
And yes, Legion of Honor. I might put all my French medals on.
The French have always believed that God was French anyway.
Yes, that is right.
So you're on the right track. Michelle!
Yes, my ancestors are French.
Michelle!
They were French Huguenots.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. In Chicago, yes, sir.
And Miss Davis.
Yes.
Well, when she goes to heaven, first of all, she can tell us that she was in All About Eve and the Little Foxes. And
Why didn't she get an Academy Award for that?
for All About Eve?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
That was a split vote because of Anne Baxter being nominated also.
Yeah.
Well, there was no. I'm sorry. There was no reason for that because that film was definitely Hollywood. Every Oscar that could have been given to you for that movie should have been given. And after seeing that, and I remember asking my mother how many Academy Awards did they get, and for sure Betty got it, and she says no, she didn't. And there was some politics involved. And after that, whenever they come out with the Academy Award nominations, I go, it's subjective anyway.
Yes.
I tell her I love her. I take that film out every 3 months. I mouth all the words, and I just adore it.
What's your favorite speech?
Pardon?
What's your favorite speech?
Well, I do like the one where she says, buckle your seatbelt.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Sorry.
Get
It's
it
going
right.
to be a bumpy night.
All right, can we take another reading on that? Can I hear that again, ma'am? A little farther back from the microphone.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
I never thought I'd direct Bette Davis.
I also liked when she was standing on the stairs and what was his name? George Sanders was there.
Yes.
Monroe. And you were giving a little speech, and that was, I don't remember exactly the words, but the power of that was there. And I
Yes, I was mad I didn't want to be treated like the queen bee.
Perfect movie. Thank you again.
Well,
thank you, Michael.
Thank you very much. Was that fun to do? Was that tough to do? Do you know you're doing a winner when you're doing it?
We knew with that one so much so it scared us.
Leopard on here for you, but they were busy.
It's frightening to get too pleased.
You've made many people too pleased today, and it's not frightening. Thank you very much indeed for joining us. I'm truly honored.
Oh, well, I really have loved meeting you and talking with you. I am a fan also of yours. I am.
I'm going to go home and tell the folks at home. Thanks a lot, Miss Davis. That's the author of This and That, Bette Davis. Till tomorrow, I'm Michael Jackson. Thanks for your company. Bye
WQBK Q130 Talk Radio.
Have some respect.
Today in the middle of
Those people. That's why we don't want Mr. Robertson.
Oh, God, no. I could give you several.
Well, that can make people very mixed up. So...
Yes. You preempt all the things I want to say.
No, I really enjoy coming.
Thank you very much.
I did want to thank you.
For being you.
I did want to thank you for what you did. Made me feel very happy, I have to admit. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. We all love you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Lovely to see you. You make me homesick for Dale.
I love you.
All right.
You're very good.
Thank you for coming in.
Oh, no.
You made our years.
Yeah, he's terrific.
Take care of yourself.
Straight through that. I know very much. Yeah.
Thank you all very much.
Well, you don't know how happy you've made everybody in the whole world.
Well, thanks.
You go straight? Yeah, right out this door. I'll help.
Okay.
Do you mind?
You go for it.
Can I?
Thank you.
May I? I'll escort you out if you don't mind.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank
you.
you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you a million, all of you.
Who is he?
Straight ahead, honey. Straight ahead.
Oh, and the letter. Well, the letter, of course, is William Wyler.
Yes.
He was brilliant.
That was a beautiful. You did an interview on Channel 5 where you said,
This, no, honey. This way here. Right here.
well, you said that you really got carried away with those bangles and that one scene.
Oh, yes, he did.
Thank you.
And he was right.
He was right. That was the greatest I've seen in a movie, though. Yeah. Okay.
Probably survive.
Did you ask Mr. Crane? It probably was a favorite. We all have favorite pets.
It was.
Right.
No problem.
Right. You want to get tiny footage right there, you go right there.
Thank you, honey. Oh, God. What a thrill. Thank you.
Come stand beside me.
Bye.
Come stand beside me. Bye.
Is
Bye.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh.
Right.
Would you take a picture? And can I just...
Wait a second, I don't even operate one of these things. How do you
just aim it? It's all set. It's all set. You just aim. No, stop. Have you done it before?
Well, show me.
No, I have. You know how to operate this
Okay,
one.
and?
It's all
Yeah,
set.
you
It's
just
running.
Oh, it
Can
is
you do
running.
it?
Okay.
You got it?
Got it. Got it. Got it. Got it. Thank you. And I'll make a still picture of this. Beautiful. That's wonderful. You're wonderful.
May I have one for still?
Terrific. It is running. Terrific.
Thanks. Perfect.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Okay.
You got it. That's it. Thank you. God love you.
Yeah. Miss Davis, I just want to say hello to you. I'm Bob Anderson, and my brother appeared in his first movie
Yes.
that he ever appeared on, Richard Anderson, with you.
Oh, Richard
on
Anderson.
Payment on Demand.
On Demand.
Payment on Demand.
Payment on Demand.
And I'll be talking with Richard today, and I'm going to tell him
say
that.
hello.
Oh, I will indeed.
Oh,
And he
yes.
enjoyed it so much because I spoke
Very
with him
handsome,
recently.
very handsome.
Well, he really enjoyed making that movie.
Well,
That was his first one, so he
we
learned
all
from a real
did.
pro. That was here, this is good saying. That's great.
Thank you.
Talk louder.
Thank
In this
you.
That was really
talk
something.
louder.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Isn't that something?
Isn't it something?
It's a thrill. No, it's a thrill.
It's a thrill. It sure is. Okay. Well, good luck on your tour. And sell a million books.
Thanks. Bye. God love you.
Hey, thanks. You gonna give me that?
Helen Hayes.
This is Talk Radio. I'm Michael Jackson. In 1955, she said, "An actress's life is so transitory. Suddenly you're a building." She said that when a building was named in her honor, a theater. They could have done that years before or any time since. Because for longer than most people in our country can remember, and far longer than most of us have been alive, she has certainly been one of the best known, most respected, highly respected and beloved of actresses. I speak of our guest, and I hope you'll share the opportunity of speaking with the novelist, Helen Hayes. The current work is called Where the Truth Lies. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
What is an actor or an actress? I'm new to this planet.
All actors, all of us. And some of us rationalize our lives and get out of it all. And some of us just keep right on with those childhood impulses.
I mean, I've got the feeling that I've met some of the greatest actors and actresses in the world who never trod the boards, who never appeared on the screen large or small, but it's necessary for the work they do.
They're doing it, yes, they're performing a role.
All right, this is from left field. Do you think television evangelists are frequently actors and actresses?
They certainly are.
That is a wicked laugh, madam.
Well, if they are, they give our profession a bad name, don't they?
I don't know, they can turn on the tears more rapidly than most of us can.
As you get older as an actor or an actress, no, let me be specific. Does it get more difficult to remember words?
Definitely. I have a terrible time with that.
All right.
And yes, and I was such a quick and easy study. But in the last couple of pictures I did, the films for television, I had a horrible time trying to remember lines.
I remember Robert Young saying the same thing to me, that his great fear was, and that must be awfully aggravating when
you've always had it so easy, yes. You can't whip your mind into obeying your will.
Well then, as the years pass, does acting get easier?
No. Why should it?
I don't know, I haven't been there.
If you can't get the lines in your head, how can you be easier acting? No, it doesn't get easier. There's something about the ebullience of youth that is important in acting. Maybe it's the innocence of spirit that one has that is necessary to be a very good actor. I just don't think I have been as good an actress for the last, for 20-odd years.
You make an awful agent.
Before I quit.
I was going to say, you make an awful agent. Can you imagine? And my client is nowhere nearly as good as she used to be, but she'll be accurate. Do you see much on the screen of the past that really delights you from your own performances?
In my performances?
Yes.
Oh, you're talking to someone with a few phobias, I'm sorry to say.
Such as?
Such as I can't watch myself on the screen. I really have a phobia about that. And I know the reason. I think that when I watch myself, I have the feeling if they would just let me do it again, I could do it right. And that's very frustrating, aggravating.
That's on the screen. What about the stage? Do you feel the same way about a stage performance?
Oh, no, because I'm in charge there. It's an adventure between me and that audience.
She's given us many an adventure. She's, speaking of adventure, the author of Where the Truth Lies, a novel of glamour and murder in Hollywood. We'll continue in just a moment with Helen Hayes on Talk Radio.
You make a good radio talk show host. Now guest. Did you enjoy it more than you thought?
Well, I'm nervous about those things.
It was good. It was good. Straight ahead, honey. Right this way here.
Switchboard now on Monday.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything, being so nice about it.
Bless you.
So you were aware of that.
Wagner?
Yeah.
I need to get you in because we're about to go on.
See you later.
Just like in the movies.
Yeah. Excuse us, John.
Yeah.
You even got the music.
It sounded like it, didn't it? Thanks.
Beautiful, perhaps even more so. You don't have to wait until Sunday, because the Beach House at Laguna Beach serves breakfast 7 days a week. So you can dine there for breakfast tomorrow or Monday, or any other day. It's that simple. Looking over my shoulder now as a man with a large appetite. You are Mr. Wagner?
Yes, I am. Good morning. How are you?
I bet you've never had breakfast there. Keep in mind the Beach House in Palm Springs still serves that ever-popular champagne brunch. I've raved about that on many an occasion. If you've tried the Beach House at Laguna Beach for lunch or dinner and loved it, try it for breakfast.
University Medical Center, a hospital spokeswoman said Timothy John Casimard of Ontario, Canada, is active and doing very well after yesterday's 5-hour operation.
Incredibly dirty.
Comedian Joan Rivers is free to pursue her $50 million libel suit against Gentleman's Quarterly and author Ben Stein. A state appellate court disagreed with attorneys for the magazine who say Stein's story about Rivers was a satire that was never labeled as such. The Beverly Hills Fire Department has been called out to investigate nauseating fumes emanating from some decomposing films. You ever made films like that? Ah, he's admitting he's guilty. I repeat the story. The Beverly Hills Fire Department has been called out to investigate nauseating fumes emanating from some decomposing film stored in a trucking company vault. 4 fire units rolled to Beverly Hills Transfer Company this morning, but no injuries were reported. Officials at Children's Hospital and LA Orthopedic Hospital say they're in the early stages of merger talks. They say the consolidation of the 2 healthcare facilities would represent one of the largest such mergers in California. In a moment, the weather word.
Now listen, Don, we want you to do a jingle for this great new offer from Southwest Airlines.
Sure, let's keep it simple.
Oh, yeah. Here it is. Now through April 30th, Southwest is giving double credit on all trips.
Okay, double the credit.
Don, through our frequent flyer program, company club, you see.
Okay, what a club.
Now, hold it. And the credits are good towards your next free trip for a full year. Now, this means everyone can win free trips, you see.
This is a lot to sing about.
Oh, yeah. So until April 30th, just 5 short round trips can earn a free trip anywhere we fly.
Wow.
Oh, and you got to cover all our great cities, of course.
Okay, we're nicely ahead now.
London, Sun, Las Vegas, LA.
Okay, I got it. Okay, thanks. We're nice and get double credits when you take to the sky. And win free trips anywhere we fly.
Oh, yeah.
You'll find great cities when you fly our way.
Yeah.
That's all we really need to say.
Oh, Don, you left out the name of the airline.
Oh, well, then how about this?
Fly Southwest Airlines. Just say when.
That's good, Dan.
Yes. And the weather word, the National Weather Service said it'll be sunny, breezy and cooler today with highs in the mid to upper 70s, afternoon winds of 15 to 20 miles an hour. Air quality expected to be mostly moderate to unhelpful throughout the South Coast air basin. 10:33 the time. I bet I have found a way of introducing you to you. Well, let me put it this way. Introducing our guest in a way which has not been used before and with any luck will not be used again. Want to accept the challenge?
Yes, go right ahead.
Okay.
I'm very interested in hearing
I have the
it's going to
utmost respect and admiration for our guest, Mr. R.J. Robert Wagner. However, the New York Times Encyclopedia of Television does not devote a chapter to him, does not devote a page to his career, does not take a paragraph to describe one of the great TV careers. Les Brown's New York Times Encyclopedia of Television doesn't mention you.
Why don't they do that?
I don't know.
You have to, maybe you have to send in, you know, sometimes they write to you and they say, would you give your list of credits and we put you in the book and so forth and so on.
But then how dare he do that? Calling it the Encyclopedia of Television and not mention you?
Well, I don't know what to say to you, Michael. You know, in this business you have to audition all the time.
Yes.
Maybe I just didn't do a good enough audition.
This is why we asked you to come here today, Mr. Wagner. I mean, if anybody, there could be books written about you on the art of survival in Hollywood, how to be, how I found the fountain of youth might be another, how to never stop growing in stature and in the esteem of your fellow workers. You're absolutely adored in this business. Does that worry you?
Well, that's very nice of you to say that. I'm very proud of that. That's very nice.
So how come you can't get a job? This is what I'm really getting at.
And I can't get my name in that encyclopedia. So it shows you what can happen in this business.
Encyclopedia should mention people who used to be here, not who still are, right? They should be...
Thanks, Michael. I enjoyed it.
KABC. Up in the editorial.
Pretty
much, they're approachable, but they could care less when it's nothing to do.
Yeah, around the hour, throughout the day, when they're kidding.
But usually we go into the studio.
Oh, yeah.
Ta-da! Robert, I hope you don't mind if there are a few ladies that would like to take pictures.
They want to take a picture from the T-Bird.
All of us. And this T-Bird, which we have to be giving away on the air.
Do it in the sun.
What year is it?
55.
How are you doing?
Great.
I was with Jimmy Stewart, my first one this spring.
Oh, yes?
Yeah. On my desk.
This is wonderful. Beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Here's your next golf ball. Wear it out there with all those illegal maids, will you? Wear them
I was going to get it. Yeah, it'd be great. You've got time. You've got time, but we don't want to. 5 minutes. Take time.
Guys, what's the matter?
Oh, no.
Oh. Oh, well. well. Are you on? I don't want to break it. You're on.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, you guys
See
got
you.
on anyway. Bye. Thank you very much.
Bye. Come on.
Bye.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for being nice.
Bye-bye,
guy.
John.
Appreciate it very much.
Follow him out so I can cross, John.
Nah, was he bad?